Hello everybody and welcome to the Three Pentacles. I'm just going to mute my YouTube so that we don't get feedback. There we go. So yeah, hi and welcome. Well, actually tonight we're the Two of Pentacles because our third pentacle is in a forest retreating for the week. So we're just the Two of Pentacles tonight, which actually we just said works out really well because our topic tonight is overwhelm. And the Two of Pentacles is all about balance. So amazing. And also we've got the Libra full moon this Thursday, which again is all about balance. So we're talking about how to balance your overwhelm out tonight. But first of all, who are we? Well, we're Sharon, Claire and Rebekah, except tonight we're just Sharon and Rebekah. And we're three fearless friends who recently ditched our 9 to 5 corporate jobs to build our dream spiritual businesses. So I ditched my job in June 2021 and Sharon and Claire early this year or end of last year, so very recent for them. And we thought, why not combine forces and use the experience we've got of us leaving our corporate jobs and building spiritual businesses and create this YouTube channel to share with you guys who might also be looking at building the life of your dreams and running your own business. Like, how can you do it? What advice do we have? Sharing our knowledge, our experience. And then we thought a really good name for ourselves is the Three Pentacles, because that card in the tarot suite does represent combining ideas, collaborating together, which is exactly what Sharon, Claire and I do. We've known each other for years and we've got a little WhatsApp group and we help each other with our businesses. Let's put that all on YouTube and help you guys as well. So we go live every week, Monday, 7 o'clock, except we didn't last week because I wasn't well and then nobody could get into Zoom because I have the chances. Sorry if you logged on last week and nobody turned up. So join us every Monday live, ask us questions. If you're watching this on record though, you can still put a question in the comment section and we'll come back to you. So let me go to YouTube, and if you're watching live, let us know in the chat. And any questions, yeah, just pop them in there. So overwhelm is, I think it might be one of the biggest problems when you start running your own business, because if you've worked like in a job for a company, you're just doing that role that you have. So I was a business development manager. That was my role. I didn't have to do anything else but just focus on that part of that business. And then as soon as you start your own business, you're every single role going in the company. You're the CEO, you're the accountant because you've now got to do tax returns. You're the marketer, you've now got to market yourself however you choose to do that, whether that's social media or an advert in the local paper. Your logistics, if like Sharon, she's selling a product and posting crystals out, so she's logistics. And a lot of the time you're the product. I'm the product. I am the person that does the one-to-ones with people. So you're everything when you've got your own business. So overwhelm is really common. And the way that it shows up in my life when I'm working is, well, I'll give an example. When I was in Moira, and I think I messaged you and Claire the other week, like I had that much to do and that much going on in my head that I was just stood still in the middle of the room, like paralyzed and not doing anything. And I was just like,
when you said that,
I don't know what to do. So we'll talk about our experience of overwhelm first in the first part of this live, and then we'll give you our tips for dealing with it. But that's how it shows up in my life. It kind of paralyzes me and then I don't do anything and nothing gets done. It can obviously show up as anxiety and stress. It can show up as quickly putting something out there that you've not put much effort into because you just want to clear your list to feel better. So it can show up as like shoddy workmanship. It can show up in so many ways. It can show up into you bursting into tears because you've just reached your limit. And I'm sure, you know, you, Sharon, with having 3 young children, that throws a lot into the mix in terms of overwhelm. Like, how are you experiencing overwhelm?
Even when I get really overwhelmed, and sometimes it's subconscious, most of the time it's subconscious. Like I have my list and I feel like I'm organized and I feel like I'm doing stuff, but I start feeling like the anxiety that I get when I'm feeling overwhelmed. And then it's my signal that, okay, am I doing too many things? Like, am I okay? Am I stressed? And sometimes consciously, I'm like, no, I am okay. I'm not stressed. I've got everything under control. But really, if I dig deeper, there's like, you know, when you're juggling and there's a lot of balls in the air and you're thinking, actually, I'm doing things, but there's like, I'm doing a lot of different things. For me, when I feel really overwhelmed, I'll get anxiety and I just feel it in my tummy and it will just hit me out of nowhere. And in the moment that I get it, I could just be like washing the dishes. So I'm not even doing anything work related, but I know that it's like the build up of like my list of things to do. And then obviously the kids and just the constant, you know, business questions and work. And like you said, like we just do everything. It's your own business. You're responsible for every part of it. So for me, it's that feeling of anxiety in my tummy, which is actually quite painful. And then so I'll know and I need to stop. And I also sometimes feel like I'm being lazy, because when I feel overwhelmed and I don't feel like doing anything, or maybe I want to do like one thing, and then you start thinking to yourself, God, but I had all these things planned for this week, and you're not doing any of them. But it's difficult because we're constantly balancing the fact that we are freer and we can create our own schedule and we can go out and go for a walk when we want, and we can do all of those things.
That's the thing, if we were overwhelmed at our 3D jobs in the company, we wouldn't be able to drop everything and go out for a walk, whereas we can now. So that's one good thing about running your own business.
Yeah, definitely. And then it's like, if you need the day, you need the day off, you need the day off.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to get even more anxiety about then messaging someone to say, I can't come in today, or like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's not as bad as it used to be, is it?
Yeah, because that for me, like, I used to get really bad anxiety towards the end, like just before I left my work, logging into team meetings, because I thought people would ask me things that I didn't know. And then I was still doing my business on the side. Obviously still had the kids and all of that stuff going on. And it was too much. I was very, very overwhelmed. And something had to give. Like, it was either I just stopped doing this and like concentrated on my job, which was actually easier. If I had it like spiritually awoken, it was actually a good life, you know. I got paid quite well. I was like you said, like I was just in charge of that bit. I could do it well. They never gave me I didn't have a massive workload. It was like a doable workload, but with the kids and this stuff on the side, then it was too much. And it didn't light me up.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we've all left, isn't it?
Yeah. We could not do it. It's not like it was hard, like mentally, or we couldn't do the jobs. It's like our soul it didn't resonate anymore, and it was torture. But I'd rather have the overwhelm that I have now than I did then.
Yeah, so what we've got to do is make sure that this overwhelm doesn't kind of become all encompassing, haven't we? So we'll share some of our tips in a minute, but I just wanted to say that when you said you get anxiety and it affects your tummy, it's really weird, because I was just watching a YouTube video, which I'll put in the comments in a minute, with Dr. Bruce Lipton. And have you heard of him? Yeah, it's amazing. And he talks about why you get stomach ache when you get anxious. It's because when you're anxious, you go into fight or flight, which does something to the blood cells in your body. Your blood cells react, because when you're anxious, your body still thinks we're in the Stone Age times and that you're going to get eaten by a bear. So even though it's just anxiety from the fact you've got too much on your plate, your body will be thinking, oh no, I'm going to die, I'm going to get eaten by a bear. So it releases chemicals into your body that affect your blood, and then that affects your digestive system. I don't know the whole in and outs, but go and watch this video. It's fascinating. That's why you physiologically get affected by anxiety and stress.
I feel like I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't do a deep breath because it feels too simple to fully breathe in and out.
Yeah, because you go into shallow breathing. Yeah.
Yeah, husband will say to me, take deep breaths. And I'm like, I can't. I genuinely can't. And then he gets frustrated and he's like, but what are you stressed about? Like, you've got nothing to stress about. We have everything and we're okay. And I'm like, I know, but it's just, I feel the way I feel and I can't help it. And it's like,
the thoughts that are going through our heads when we're overwhelmed, them, I guess, are, it's kind of a fear, isn't it? If I don't do everything on my to-do list, like something's going to happen, something bad's going to happen. I guess that's what I believe. And I guess the other thought is, I have to make this successful because I've just given up this really good salary. So I have to make this successful. And in order to be successful, I've got to slog my guts out. You know, this is a negative belief I have around what's causing this overwhelm. And another negative belief I know I've got is I have to be productive all the time. That makes me feel safe. It makes me feel like I'm contributing to the planet, to my life. I have to be doing something all the time. These are all negative beliefs, obviously, that are not true. And then I get overwhelmed because I'm not fulfilling those negative beliefs. So if I was working with a client on that, I would say, how can you turn those beliefs around and turn them into positive beliefs? And then I'd get them to repeat those beliefs throughout the week. So I guess it's like turning those statements around into, I am safe.
Yes.
I am capable. My to-do list will get done. It's all the I am, or the positive affirmations. So when you notice those thoughts coming up in your head, like the world's going to end if I don't complete my to-do list, if you notice that coming up in your head, it's about saying I am safe and things will get done. You know, coming up with statements to replace that in order to calm your body down, so that your body doesn't think it's going to get eaten by a bear and stops causing all these physical reactions in your body.
I totally talk to myself and tell myself I'm okay and everything's fine and nothing's falling apart.
Yeah.
And you know, the grand scheme of things, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah. Exactly.
So when they said we talk about how we deal with it, for me, I have to switch off. I have to switch off from work. I have to switch off from thinking about cleaning the house or anything that was on my list. I just have to push it away and read a book or watch something funny on Netflix. Just, I have to take my mind completely away from it. Until all the physical feelings have passed, and then I can come back to it and think, right, I'll do one thing today, or then I can think about it logically. But when I'm in that mode, I can't think. I just have to go
Those
away.
are different levels, isn't it? When I'm at my highest level of overwhelm, then I will leave my phone at home and I'll go and do this walk that I love, that's 4 hours long. No phone, no watch, nothing. And I can absolutely guarantee, I'd bet my house on it, that when I finish that walk, it's all gone. It's like a miracle. It's working in Mother Nature, isn't it?
Yeah. I can't usually leave my house for 4 hours.
I know, so different for you.
I would love that. I don't think I could leave my house without my phone. Because
I know, I'm that. Yeah, if you've got 3 young kids, it's so different for you, which is probably why watching something funny on Netflix works.
Friends or something like that on, which would just take me back into in a peaceful, happy place. But I would love that. I think if I could, I think I should make more of an effort. If I can, just leave go for a walk.
When they're all at school and nursery.
You
could do that, couldn't you? Yeah,
I think that's a good one. And I remember when I had a reading with you, and I set out my goals, and then you told me to think about my top 10 things.
The Akashic Records coaching.
Oh, that was amazing. So setting my goal and then writing the 10 things that I thought
10 steps 10
steps to reach that goal, and then you went through each one
using a pendulum.
And you told me that what percentage that would actually help me to reach the goals. So basically it helped me prioritize my list of things to do,
Yeah, and I never thought about just using that on a day-to-day basis. Like, I'm so anal. I'm like, no, that's for my Akashic Records coaching session. So thank you for making me aware that that can actually be used on a daily basis.
Yeah, because prioritizing it in that way, it just took so much stress off. And because you gave me percentages as well.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so if I do this, it's moving my business forward towards my goal by this much.
Yeah, then you've got a priority list then as well, haven't you? So the one with the highest percentage, you just focused on doing that one.
Yeah.
And you didn't do any of the others until that one's done.
Yeah.
And then I suppose it gives you comfort because we're asking the Akashic Records for this action. So you get you, for people watching, if you want to have a go at it, you need to print a dowsing chart off with numbers on it. And then you get your pendulum and say, for this action, for action number 1, how aligned is this to my Akashic Records? And I do up to 5%, so 5% to 100%. So say if your first action was like 4.9, and then all your others were under 4.9, you'd do that action first. So it gives you confidence as well, because you're asking your Akashic Records, is this aligned? It's not just Sharon's human brain, it's the Akashic Records. Like,
my human brain would pick the easiest task,
not
the important one that will actually move my business forward or grow my business. I would pick the one that was like quick and easy for me to do, and then I feel productive and I feel like I've done something where really I could have spent that time doing something else, which would have a better effect.
Right, apparently we've got 12 people watching, so let us know in the comments how overwhelm shows up for you, and what you use to deal with overwhelm. It would be lovely. Let us know that you're here.
I'm gonna one on my phone
now. So if you see this thing that Sharon's wearing, it's called a Healy, and she uses this to help with overwhelm. So tell people what a Healy is and how you use it.
Yeah, so I used this last time I felt overwhelmed, and I literally hadn't done anything. I had just like bathed the kids to put them into bed, and I was coming down to have my dinner, and then I'm just standing in the middle of the living room. I was like, oh my God, my tummy hurts. I'm feeling anxious. But I'd had quite a good day, but I did have a lot of things to do, and I just wanted to clear loads of things up before I went to sleep. So I got my Healy, and then you can run a scan, and it picks up your frequencies in your body, and it tells you which program most resonates with you. And it's really funny because when I have those feelings, a lot of the mental balance programs come up. And when I first got my Healy, like they say, you heal in layers.
Yeah.
So when I first got the Healy, there was a lot of physical things like skin or liver or was that when I kept getting one? Like,
kidney. Was it kidney?
Kidney and like cell harmony. Oh, it's going to annoy me now, but there was one that I kept getting, and when I didn't even know what it meant, so to Google it, but it was basically the stuff in your body that connects your nerves, connective tissue. So that came up a lot, and then I started researching, and it said if you don't have strong connective tissue, you have a weak immune system. But when I feel overwhelmed, a lot of the mental balance programs come up, and I was losing my hair a lot, so I used a pendulum to dowse my Healy charts to check what would help me with my hair loss. And I got kidney frequencies, mental balance, and some other got like pure kind of overall frequencies. And it was amazing. Like, it actually helped my hair loss, and it helped me with my feelings of overwhelm, because it just helped me regulate my mental.
So that device that you're wearing sends out a frequency. You can program it to send out a frequency that helps with your anxiety from overwhelm.
Yeah, so
that's what that is.
Yeah, I'm using like Inner Unity right now, which calms my mind and unifies like my mind, body and spirit, so you feel whole and you feel stronger.
Wow.
So and it's so amazing, and it really, really helps. It really helps me, and I use it for my kids. So I would just scan them, and I never thought, like, for my 9-year-old, his chakras would come up because he's healthy, like, you know, there's nothing wrong with him. So I'm like, oh, let's try and use the Healy today, let's see what comes up. And he came up with his throat chakra, and he's only 9, but it literally cleared his throat. Like, you know, when you keep going and you've got like a slight
I've been doing that all day. Yeah.
cough, and then when like the next day I realized he wasn't doing it anymore, so it really like clear whatever was there.
Wow, amazing.
And then I love it.
So what we've done then is come up with 3 suggestions for overwhelm, haven't we? So we've talked about how we experience overwhelm, and if you've tuned into this live halfway through, you'll be able to go back and watch from the beginning when we finish. We've talked about how we both experience overwhelm from leaving our corporate jobs to starting our own business, because we're everything: CEO, accountant, marketer, salesperson, and even the product. And then we've talked about how we deal with it. So a couple of ways is by actually getting a pendulum and a chart. In fact, I've just come up with another way. You could build a dowsing chart with your tasks on it and ask the pendulum which task. That's another way of doing it. I'll be doing that. Another way is by getting a dowsing chart with numbers on it and tuning into your Akashic records and asking, is this task aligned, and what percentage is it aligned? And then the ones with the highest percentage you do first. Because if you prioritize, rather than having, you know, everything all to do in your head, you prioritize and you're using your pendulum to help you prioritize, and then just do that task, focus on it, and don't do any of the others until that's done. That should help a bit with overwhelm. And then we've talked about ditching it all and going on a 4-hour walk, which I absolutely love to do, leaving my phone at home. Sharon unfortunately can't do that often. She's got 3 young children, so she's found other coping mechanisms to deal with that. And one of those is using this Healy device that she's got that sends out healing frequencies. You can program it for what you need in the times. If you want to know more about that, you can contact Sharon. I'll put her email in the comments. And I'll also put the link to the YouTube video where Bruce Lipton talks about how the thoughts in our head affect us physiologically. That's why Sharon gets stomachache when she gets anxiety from the overwhelm she's feeling from those thoughts that you're having in your head. So another way was working out, what are these negative beliefs you have around your to-do list? Like, if I don't get everything done on my to-do list, I am not safe, and flipping those around to positive affirmations, like, today I am going to release this need to complete my to-do list. I am safe. This too shall pass. One task at a time is enough, and coming up with positive beliefs to calm that bodily reaction down that's causing the stomachache.
Definitely. And I think reminding yourself that rest is productive. Like, don't feel guilty that you need that time off. Don't feel guilty that you need those hours away, or a day even. Like, it's actually moving you forward, because you're regenerating, you're healing, and then that way you come back stronger. Your cup is overflowing, because that's difficult.
There's a guilt, isn't there, around not doing anything? And there's an unsafe feeling for me that comes with not doing anything. I am one of those people that feels like they need to fill the time with everything. So a really good exercise for me is actually not making any plans, or just having a day. See, I feel scared already thinking about that. So that's still something I'm working on. But like, so for example, I am getting better with this. When I have holidays, I used to plan every single day and have a schedule. Like, we're going here, we're doing this, because I wanted to make the most out of the holiday. But now I'm really good at not doing that. Like, we didn't plan the campsites ahead this time, but for those watching, I'm in my camper van in France. In fact, we don't even know what campsite we're going to until the day now.
Oh,
I know. I'm getting adventurous.
Yeah. And then just one more little tip is the pillar of light meditation, where you just like breathe and like you see the light coming from source down into your heart, like going all the way through your chakras. And then another pillar of light coming from the center of the earth, like going again through your chakras and up back to the sun. Like just doing that like really helps me calm down and like get back into my body.
Brilliant.
Of my thoughts, I love that. And it's like an easy meditation to remember.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? So I hope that's helped. Let us know if it has. Let us know if you try any of our tips and they help. Get your pendulums out, get your dowsing charts out. That will help you prioritize. As I said, if you're watching this on record, you can still put your questions and comments. We will reply to them. Thanks for those that come on live and watch. We're live every Monday at 7 o'clock. So join us next week. We haven't come up with a topic for next week yet, but we'll put it on our social media soon. And we will have the third pentacle with us next week, Claire, who we've missed tonight. And I hope she's having a lovely break in the forest. And yeah, just one final thing. If you could like this video, comment, share it, help us build this community we're trying to build, where we all support each other, and those that have chosen to leave their 3D jobs and start their dream 5D spiritual businesses. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we shall see you next week.
Bye.
Bye everybody.